Socialized medicine is the keystone to the arc of the socialist state. Lenin, supposedly. Unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize into an undercover dictatorship. To restrict the art of healing to one class of men and deny equal privileges to others will constitute the Bastille of medical science. All such laws are un-American and despotic and have no place in a republic. The republic of this Constitution should make special privilege for medical freedom as well as religious freedom. Benjamin Rush, MD, signer of the Declaration of Independence, doctor to our very first president, George Washington. Now, a lot of people say that quote by Lenin is made up, it's false. And that's kind of tricky because if people are told that Lenin didn't say that, they're going to think he didn't mean it. But he meant it. It's true. What Benjamin Rush said is true also. Interestingly, in 1945, the AMA got together and asked $25 extra from all their members, put together the largest lobbyist effort ever in history back then. At that time, $1.5 million was lobbied against having health insurance. Now you have to realize that the members of the AMA are a bunch of dupes. They've been conned, they've been tricked. They have no idea what they're doing and how they're being used. The Satanists who rule the world have used medicine and doctors always to control us because that's the ultimate tool of control. So socialized medicine really is the arc to the keystone of a socialist state. You see how that works? Now some people say, oh, it just leads to other social programs. It does, but that's not the main thing because health is the ultimate tool of control. The people who rule the whole world couldn't do it unless they controlled our health. That's why our doctors are so incompetent. That's why they don't know anything. Now let's put things in perspective. In the late 1930s in America, they passed all these state medical laws giving a monopoly to an industry that should not even exist. It's a treatment peddling industry for lifestyle-related problems. The vast majority of what doctors are doing is wrong. They're only qualified for emergency situations, for trauma. That's all they're skilled in. You know, there are three legs that conventional medicine stands on to try to establish their credibility. One has to do with real trauma victories. They're successful at saving us when we're in an accident, something outside of control. That's one of the legs they stand on. The other leg they stand on is the bogus vaccine victories. That's all baloney. Vaccines never eradicated any disease, and if you believe that, you better check your belief system and look into it. Because I'm telling you, I have looked into it, and I know for a fact they didn't eradicate any disease. It's one of the biggest hoaxes they have on us. They had to control our health, and then they had to control our wealth, and that's where the health insurance comes into play, where they get most of their money, and the one way they keep us poor so much is through this bogus health insurance and medical bills. Folks, there is no such thing as a healthcare system. It doesn't exist because healthcare is self-care. We are the ones that cause our problems. We are the ones that we can solve those problems, but we're not told that. We've been led to believe that these problems are outside of control. Now we need someone else to come along and give us a poison to fix the problem. And I know what so many people think. Socialized medicine is good. Everyone should have insurance. No! Everyone should have accident insurance. For every time something happens to someone that's an accident, all these people should get everything free. They've already had something horrible happen to them. The last thing they need to do is pay for having to be treated for that. Yes, everyone should have universal accident coverage. But when you start getting into this bullshit about medicine, it's a medical condition. It's bullshit. All doctors do is they name the symptom based on the location and the stage it's in. And they have no idea that it goes through stages. And they think their job is to interfere with it and stop it. They don't know. So we don't want universal health care coverage. We don't want health insurance. Interestingly, long ago, when you got sick and you had health insurance, it paid for you. It paid for your lost wages. because medical bills weren't that expensive long ago. You lost more money by not working than by having to pay your doctor. Now it's the other way around, isn't it? And it's by design. Again, the powers that be have been using medicine to control us and health to control us ever since we got sick. It's sickness begets sickness. We get sick, the sickest of us all are like parasites, and they leech off our sickness. We don't have any medical freedoms in this country. We think we live in a free country. Baloney. Your little child comes down with leukemia, they're going to take your child away from you if you refuse chemotherapy and inject that liquid fire into her. That's insane. We've got to start standing up for these poor families who are having their children ripped away from them. We've got to realize how we're being brainwashed by the media. My God, our opinions are so easily shaped, it's frightening to look around right now at how people are manipulated by the media. Don't you guys understand who owns the media, who owns the entertainment industry? You can't work for the entertainment industry if you have the wrong political view, if you don't tote the line and keep us where we are and promote this socialism in the name of liberalism. Way back in 1927, they were saying we can't introduce this as socialism, but we can hide it as liberalism, and people will buy into everything that's given to us. And we have to understand that governments go through cycles. Democracy goes through cycles. I explained this in more detail in several other videos, but especially in Satan's Secret Weapon. I'll put a link down below. Where the last stage is dependency. And this is what makes countries go broke. Again, this is by design. The ultimate tool of control has to do with our health. The absolute tool of control has to do with our wealth. They got to keep us poor. They can't let us know how to be healthy. They can't let us be prosperous because these people are Satanists. And they want us to suffer. And they know history. We don't have access to history. We've been lied to about history, so we don't understand the real truth about our wealth. So many stories are lies to keep us from looking deeper into what that story is about, because it all leads into the loaning of money at interest, usury. Again, we're so easy to manipulate by the media. We got sucked into the first war just by the newspapers changing who they were for, and that got us to jump into it. Again, it's frightening to think how easily people are whipped into a frenzy by the media. Sometimes I often wonder if we have a chance at all. I'm hoping there's enough bright people out there that can help us reach the tipping point to wake the rest of them up. Fortunately, you don't have to have a brain to change your mentality. You just got to learn how to live. This is why we suffer. We got the wrong mentality. We shouldn't be doing the things we do. And we do the things we do because we don't even know how to eat. We don't know how to live. So let's not get too distracted on all that downstream bullshit that's always happening. That's what we're always confronted with on a daily basis, isn't it? The media is always distracting us to keep us from talking about the only issues we really need to talk about. Our health, number one. Health, number two. Our wealth. Quit printing our money. Get out of our country. Screw the debt. We don't owe you anything. In fact, we're going to take back all the money you took from us and use that to help educate the rest of us, so that we can all understand one simple concept. Healthcare is self-care. When you figure that out, my friends, you're in for a treat.